I will never do another teasylight in my life after learning how to AirTouch. I'm going to show you exactly how I created this, including all of my formulas. This is my client Shelby. She just had a baby 7 weeks ago, so she has all of that pregnancy hair still. Look at how long it is. We also haven't colored her hair in about a year, so we have a ton of new growth, and she is the perfect candidate for AirTouch. Shelby loves to be blonde, but I really needed a technique that would leave a little bit of dimension at her new growth. Like I said, she has a 7-week-old baby, so she's not going to be coming in every 4 weeks for a bleach and tone. Normally in these situations, I would go for a teasylight, but I have been getting so tired of having to detangle all of this matted up hair from doing a teasylight appointment. And also with the teasylights, you can never really get close to the scalp because you have that big ball of hair all pushed up towards the base of the head. But whenever you do AirTouch, you are able to get really, really close to the scalp and still have the same look of a teasylight, all of the dimension at the root, but because you aren't doing all of that teasing, it just makes your life a billion times easier. I'm working in kind of my standard highlighting placement, doing diagonal backs on each side and then connecting them in the middle. We want to keep our subsections pretty small. I'm doing like 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. If we go too thick with those subsections, when I'm trying to use my blow dryer to blow out all of those smaller pieces of hair, it's just not going to work. It's going to be way too thick of a section to get those little small babies to fall out. My lightener choice today is Pulp Riot's Blonde AF, and I'm only using 10 volume. Shelby starts pretty light, so I didn't need anything really strong, and I wanted to give myself plenty of time to work through the entire head. I'm mixing in a 1 to 1.5 ratio. I also added Olaplex number 1 into my formula to protect her hair while we're working. The goal for AirTouch is to use your blow dryer to blow out all of the smaller pieces of hair, so you're only lightening the long pieces. Now what I'm going to do is put my blow dryer in position before I even turn it on, so I'm not scattering a bunch of hair and blowing my foils all over the place. I put my blow dryer right at the base of the head, then turn it on, so that way I'm only blowing out the small pieces and I'm keeping a lot of control. All of those long pieces that are left are the pieces that I'm going to be highlighting, so it's almost like doing a slice just with none of those little baby hairs. You can see right here, I'm holding my blow dryer perpendicular to my subsection, and then I'm kind of curving my blow dryer into myself, so I'm really getting that control the entire time. Another thing is you are not going to want to have any heat on your blow dryer at all. If you have your blow dryers heat up, for one, you're at risk of burning your client's scalp, which we never want. For two, heat speeds up lightener. So if I'm constantly hitting these foils that I've already placed with a heated blow dryer, it's going to make some of those foils process quicker and we won't have a consistent lift throughout the hair. Another thing that can really vary your outcome with AirTouch is where you're holding the strand of hair when you start doing your blow drying. If I'm holding my hand pretty close to the scalp, I'm naturally going to be holding some more of those short hairs. So less of the short hairs are going to blow out and we're going to have less dimension. If I hold my hand further down the hair strand, we're going to get more of those short hairs blowing out, so we'll have a more dimensional look at the base. For Shelby, I did about halfway or 50% down the hair strand. I wanted to make sure that we had dimension, but she really had a lot of blonde. At this point, I felt like I was foiling forever, but I had to keep in mind I'm saving so much time not having to detangle all of the teases that I would have put in for a teasylight. When I got to the front sections, I bumped my lightener up to 20 volume, let her process, and then it was time to tone. For my toner, I used 40 grams of Redken Shades EQ 10N and 10 grams of Redken Shades EQ 8VB. This is such a good toner for those cool icy blondes, but the level 8 doesn't take over because it's being diluted so much with the level 10. Because the AirTouch technique diffuses and leaves so much dimension at the base, I didn't need to do any kind of shadow rooting because her natural hair, those shorter little pieces that we blew out, acted like the shadow root for me. Before I started drying, I used the Olaplex Volumizing Blow Dry Mist and their number 5 leave-in conditioner to give volume and moisture. Just in case we forgot what she looked like when she came in, here was Shelby's before. Pretty in the length, but very, very dark, and here is her after. It was literally the most angelic blonde I have ever created in my entire life. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't think I'm ever going to do another teasylight as long as I live, because why would I need to when I can AirTouch? Let me know down in the comments if you are using the AirTouch technique in your salon now, or if this is something that you would try after watching this video. If you haven't tried it, I really encourage you to give it a go. It is a flawless, seamless technique for all of your blonde clients. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. I post new hair content every single week, and I would love to have you be a part of the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!